First off, I just want to thank God, man. It's Mahomes' house.
Damn right it is.
All right, you heard it. You know it. It's another episode of this fine show, and welcome everybody to the Astra Boys Sports Podcast, broadcasting. I'm going to say going live.
Yeah, right.
Broadcasting straight up from Kansas, from around the Kansas City area. What do we talk about? Everything under the sun, other than race cars and hockey. And all kinds of different sports that are local. And we're just a bunch of local yokels that have vocals on the local sports, such as...
How long did you work on that?
Right. You practice that in the mirror at home.
Hey,
I was like, oh.
this is great bourbon. So yeah, KC Sporting, Royals, Chiefs, anything that has anything to do with Kansas City, my friends. So, like, subscribe. I'm going to be one of those dorky kids. Point down. All right?
I think ours is
What
over
is it?
here.
Bottom left?
Bottom left.
No.
And I think I'm pointing to the wrong, so Ken, you'll have to point.
My left.
All right, kiddos.
there.
That's where it's at. That's where you subscribe.
All right. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get it started, man. So, as you can see, something's not right. Something's a little off.
It looks good to me.
I started looking at the camera like, what happened now?
It looks good.
You're right. We did get 2 brand new lights, and it's a little brighter in here. But hey, that's great. Other than that, everything looks the same to me. Am I right, guys? Am I right, Joe?
Absolutely.
So let me introduce myself. Allow myself to introduce myself. I am Casey Walton. Over here, I'm all right. It's the original T.I. And over here on my left side is Joe Hooters.
Not today.
Something's not right.
Man, you've been out in the sun.
Something's not right.
Lost some weight. Got a little better looking.
That's true.
All right, my friend. Well, introduce yourself then.
I think they know I am fucking.
Yeah, so fucking decided to go ahead and slide himself into Joe Hooters' spot. Where is Joe Hooters? Well, he is live on location, broadcasting straight from St. Louis, and we're going to go ahead and tap on in here and with him in a little while after this first segment. He is on location on a road trip with his son and his son's
Where did
baseball
he?
team.
So
Joey
where did he go?
Mullets.
Where did he go?
Joey Mullets and crew are out in St. Louis competing in a baseball tournament. I don't remember the name, but
St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's technically St. Louis, but I'm sure it's on the outskirts.
Okay,
suburbs,
so they're
whatever.
somewhere near St. Louis
There you
or
go.
in St. Louis.
There you go.
Yeah. The state of the Golden Arches.
It's a show me state, but they're in the city of the Golden Arches.
Home of the Windy City.
Yeah, I think you're Chicago.
He's making it worse.
Okay, so
That is good bourbon.
All right, man. Here we are, another episode, and I think we're going to go ahead and start off with what we're going to start off with the NBA Finals.
Yep.
Who won it all? What happened, Ti?
The Miami Heat did not win it all, but the Denver Nuggets. You guys seen the final game, right? We were here watching it. What was the series? It was
4-1.
4-1.
Just like Risky Ray had called from the beginning.
And once again, so Miami Heat was up at halftime, right? And then they were up again, like in the second half, but then just little by little, just Nuggets just wouldn't go away, just kept chipping away, and they went through Jokic, right? Jokic.
We got it correct on the first time.
Jokic. I watched the clips enough from last week. I'm not gonna fuck up again on that one.
Right.
So who are we talking about?
We're talking about Jokic, of course,
Yeah,
buddy.
and
yes.
Murray, of course.
Murray,
you know,
yeah.
the same old
Jamal.
same. But Christian
know-
Brown, my friend.
So coming into that game, obviously, Jokic
About
was
did it.
Jokic was definitely leading the way for MVP, right? But I felt that Murray had enough big games that that final game, I was like, hey, whoever has the biggest game between those two, right, could potentially take the MVP. So I felt that in that second half, that's when Jokic, Jokic. That's when Jokic secured
That's
it,
one.
right? That's
Right,
one. It's
right.
okay.
That's okay.
So, but that's when he secured it, because in that first half, Murray was on fire, and Jokic really didn't turn it on until the second half. So, nice job, man! Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets and your first championship.
Their very first championship. And what do you have to say about Christian Brown there, Ken?
Christian Brown, took advantage of the time that he had on the court. What was that, game 3 where he put up 19 points or 15 points in 19 minutes?
Yeah.
Had shot from like 5 of 7 or 7 from 9. I can't remember what it was. I mean, he just took advantage. And as a rookie, Draymond Green in an interview even gave him props for what he did in the time. Like, the guy's a winner, state championships, NCAA championships, comes to the NBA, wins an NBA championship with the Denver Nuggets. The guy's a proven winner. He knows how to react in big games. He was coming off the bench and giving them solid minutes that they needed, to rest starters and, take advantage and get the points that they needed or do whatever needed to be done in that particular instance, for him to get playing time.
Man, can I say
he did great?
Yeah, how he was playing, he was just cold-blooded. He did not give a shit who was in front of him. I don't care what your status is out here, man. I'm a rookie.
Be it Jimmy Butler or whoever it was. He was just like, he goes, I've played with the best, and you got to remember what is he? He was a junior when he left.
I'm not sure what he was when he left. I mean, that sounds about right. I know he did.
I want to say he was a sophomore.
I don't feel like he was a 4-year.
He was a sophomore
I'm pretty
too.
sure he wasn't a 4-year player. I know
No,
that.
he absolutely was not. But either way, basically what I'm getting at is being, the younger end of going into the NBA.
I think he was
he showed no fear in it, and it was it was amazing.
That's exactly the point I was going to bring up, right? Is that you probably would see that with a lot of rookies. Sure, they're going to get in there. They're going to play their role, right? But I feel like sometimes you'll see them defer. I mean, hell, we've seen some of the Heat players, some of the stars deferring to some of their role players. So it was really cool to see Brown when he had his chance, like you said, he had no fear. He attacked the basket. And I don't feel like the other team was really expecting him to be that fair. So that's why he was able to get off the way he did.
So what do you think,
He was
man?
a 3-year player, sorry.
So they're going to have pretty much the same players. Am I correct? Next year, and they're a young team.
Denver's an absolutely young team. They have everything they need to just repeat again.
Well, the question is, are they going to have to pay off some players after this season?
Well, it all depends on their contracts. I mean, any contracts up?
Yeah, and I have no idea where they stand on that.
So let's just say, for instance, 1, 2, maybe big contracts, whatever. But now that they won the championship, are they a dynasty?
No. You can't call them a dynasty in my opinion, right? If they're able to pull off, let's say, 2 championships out of 4 years, or in those other 2 years they're still going to the finals, maybe they don't win it, I feel like you can call that a dynasty. And I'm sure everyone else has their own definition of what that is.
They have the ability to pull off a dynasty if they keep the pieces that are there. You're absolutely going to keep Jokic. You're going to absolutely keep Jamal Murray. It's a matter of keeping.
He'll be a Denver Nugget forever.
Yeah, it's a matter of keeping guys like Gordon. Christian Braun, he's under a rookie contract, so they got him for at least the next 4 years. And then, guys like that just played
role players,
played a role. Yeah, and it's keeping those guys happy, money wise, minutes wise, and to where they're still in the limelight. Kind of what I mean. You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting?
Yeah,
at?
but so dynasties. Okay, so if one major player goes down, you continue playing. Next person steps up, and then you continue winning. Now, Jokic.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Jokic. He goes down, it's done. I can honestly say that.
Yeah. Though they may still make the playoffs with Jamal Murray taking over,
Murray's
the guys
solid enough.
doing what they got to do.
Man, you see
but they're
moves?
not going to make the finals or win finals by any means like that.
He can play outside. He can play inside. He'll take you within the perimeter. He'll turn around, look at you, and take you to the hole. He was making people look like fools out there.
But, even if he's healthy, I really do feel this way. I feel like there's a lot of teams out there that are just one player away from being able to knock off a team like the Denver Nuggets.
So
right?
who do you say out there that can actually defend one-on-one Jokic?
Jokic is the problem with everything.
Yeah, I mean...
So going into the draft, we'll talk about this later also, is Wembanyama coming in at, 7'4" with guard skills and shooting ability, but that's a different story. But like
we'll get with that later.
the way it sits right now, the only ones who are comparable, but it's on a different level still, is you got to look at Anthony Davis. He has the ability to shoot, but he doesn't have his passing ability like Jokic has. But he does have the inside game.
Yeah.
He looked ridiculous.
So to that point, right? So you talk about, hey, who's going to be able to guard Jokic? Maybe nobody, right? They say that Anthony Davis is one of the premier defenders in the league. And we all seen what he was able to do to Anthony Davis. So and the thing that the Lakers figured out a little late, and, they wasn't making enough baskets, is that he's more effective when they don't put him on a center, right? Because he's able to extend that defense. He's so long, he's so quick, right, for his size, that they use him more on the perimeter, right? He's a great perimeter defensive player. But Anthony Davis, when it comes to defending inside the paint, he needs to get in the weight room.
What about somebody like Marcus Smart? Or Draymond Green?
Way too small, too small.
So they got the girth, right? They got the strength. But like Ken said, he's just too damn big, man. All he has to do, he's got such a good touch, right? All he has to do is he literally just turns around. Some of his shots, in my opinion, don't even look good, but they hit the rim and then they get the touch and it bounces a few times and it falls in.
He's got that beautiful freaking touch. What about Zion Williams? I mean, if he stays healthy, do you think he has the defensive skills?
Too lazy. And he's too short also.
Bro. Beat.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Zion's only what? I think he's 6'9". He's a Charles Barkley body, and you're going up against a 7 foot. I don't know exactly what 1.62 or 7'1", 7'2" in Jokic. So yeah, he can body him in the paint, but then you start getting outside, and Jokic is still going to be able to get a perimeter jump shot, perimeter anything in the middle, stuff like that.
So Zion Williamson, 20 years ago, he would have been a lot more effective in that NBA versus today's NBA, right?
And you're talking about me.
Exactly. Both of you fools need to turn your phones off.
You can't hear it though.
Well, I heard it. So, anyways, what the fuck was we just talking about?
Joe Hooters is texting. How's it going, guys?
That's what it is.
It's going great.
Fine, Joe. We'll get to you in a minute.
It's going wonderful, Joe. We just forgot what the hell we were talking about. But
no, we were on Jokic and the NBA Finals and how everything transpires.
Man, it's like the only one that's going to stop Jokic at this point is Jokic, and it's going to be injuries. I don't see anything else slowing him down, man.
If a team's going to beat them in the finals or in a conference finals or anything like that, Jokic is going to get his. He's basically going to be like any kind of other
My
superstar.
God,
you want to slow him down as much as possible, but he's going to get his. It's a matter of shutting down the role players around him. The Gordons, trying to contain Jamal Murray as much as possible. But right now, those guys just look unstoppable. Both of them getting like 30 points a game. Jokic getting his rebounds, assists, and the offense just going through him is just something different.
So, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't know if you guys were watching. I wasn't watching them at the beginning of the season, but what I believe I had heard through the grapevine is that Murray, the first half of the season, really wasn't the Murray that we seen in the playoffs. So the question is after they've won, right? Some players change, right? Sometimes it's that hunger that drives them. They want to get that first championship. Of course, I think a lot of them want to repeat, right? But I wonder what effect this will have on them, right? What do they call that? What do they call that effect after you win?
Oh, where they just kind of fall off.
There's a word, man. There's a phrase for it. I forget it. It ain't
like
fucking
the sophomore
important,
blues or something like that.
Something like that, right? So we'll see. But I still feel that there's a lot of teams out there that can compete with them, right? If you look at the Heat came in and I mean they were competitive. I mean it could have been a 3-2 series possibly, right? And we could have been looking at a 6th game. And the Heat came in as an 8th seed. If you look at the Heat, I feel like, man, they did not match up well at all against Denver. But they were still in, right? They won that one game, and, man, they were in 2 of those other games where they had an opportunity, but they just let it slip away at the end. So I feel here's the thing, and I said that I think I was premature when I said that the Denver Nuggets are the new Golden State Warriors. They're going to have to prove it for a couple more years before I could actually anoint them with that. I believe they'll be knocked off next year.
And I think there's plenty of other Murrays out there. So I think they can pick up another star player.
One of the things you were talking about earlier about what teams could possibly do it. One of the rumors floating around the NBA, rumor mill is that the Sacramento Kings, who looked awesome, as a young team, putting it all together, are actually inquiring to pick up Bradley Beal from the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, I like Bradley Beal.
And that would be a huge acquisition for them to team him with, Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox, and those guys. That I think that's what they were missing as far as a playoff run, because they were just killing it for a while there towards the regular season. And then when they got in the playoffs, they just got exposed, and they needed that leadership, that scorer that could just take over. Something like that could be that team that, challenges Denver in the West.
Well, we have yet to see. There's plenty of time. So, I'm a big fan of underdog stories. So Jokic was asked during an interview a few questions, and then something funny came out of it. But at the same time, it was like, yeah, there you go. I like that. Just to give kind of hope to other kids out there, and like, hey, don't give it up. Look at this guy. So I'm gonna play a quick little clip on.
Oh yeah, that old.
What was said,
dude? Did you guys see him when he was a kid?
He's a little fat kid.
Looks like he does now. Very just unathletic.
Little fat kid that loves pie.
He definitely
Filled out.
bulked up some. Yes.
Yeah. So here's an interview with him, and then he mentions about him being a chunky kid.
What do you think of that now?
They believe in the fat boy, and it seems like it worked out. Yeah, don't bet against the fat boy.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Hey, there's still hope in our lives.
Yes.
Before we go away from this whole Jokic thing, did you guys see the parade and what he said? Like after
Yeah,
the
what was the deal
MVP?
with the parade thing? I noticed that on our notes.
Okay.
I don't know anything about that.
So what had happened was after the NBA finals were over, he was asked in an interview. He was just like, "Hey, you excited for the partying, blah 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 blah," and he was just kind of stunned and looked over to his coach and was just like, "When's the parade?" The coach goes, "Thursday." And he goes, I just want to go home. That's all he wants to do. This guy is just.
Is that back home to his country? I mean,
Yeah. He wants to go back. He
States?
wants to go back to Serbia, and
Okay.
like what he has there, all he does is hang out with his family, drinks beer, and he has like horses that he's like infatuated with, and that's what he wanted to do.
Can you imagine his big ass on a small horse?
So
Dragging his feet and shit?
Well, that's what I said initially. Well, then come to find out, I guess he has those horses that do the races that have the carriages that they have to buy, and they have to step a certain way.
Yeah.
And I guess those are the kind of horses
Those
that
are
he
very
grew.
popular.
Yeah, so I
England,
guess
too.
that's the kind of thing that he does. I never fall
So let me get this right. So Jokic is upset.
about. No, he was just initially he was. So
Okay.
then on top of that, once a parade happened yesterday, he was out and about, and then while he was doing his speeches or whatever like that at the actual ceremony, he was just like, he goes, he admitted, he was like, yeah, I wanted to go home. He goes, fuck that. He goes, I want to stay at this parade.
I was
And
going to
he
say,
was having a
like,
ball.
dude, he would
having a
regret.
ball.
He would regret if he would have missed that, right? He would have. He
yeah.
would have, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And bro, you could stay here another week, and then you can go home. Y'all just won a championship for an organization for the first time, and I don't know how many years they've been in the league.
Yeah.
But that's a big deal, man. So
Honestly, I just
enjoy
think he
the
was happy.
accolades, brother.
Yeah, I just think he was happy that he was drinking. Like he didn't think it was going to be a
Yeah.
party like that because
Oh, okay.
you know what I'm saying?
He
like
knows how to- yeah, okay.
he's like that kind of a guy. They say
Yeah.
he like in the off season, he doesn't do anything. He drinks, he hangs out with his family, he rides his fucking horses, and then they say like 2 or 3 weeks before the NBA season or camp reports, he starts getting in shape, getting ready to go. One last thing, did you guys hear this? Jokic lost, or I guess I can't say lost, but misplaced his Finals MVP trophy after the finals. So one of the day after the finals, they reached out to him. He was doing some interviews or whatever like that, and they were expecting him to show up with his MVP trophy. And one of the commentators was like, "Hey, where's your trophy?" He goes, "Honestly, I couldn't tell you." He goes, "I think it's in my trainer's locker room." He left his MVP trophy in the trainer's locker room.
trophy?
Yeah.
No, he said trophy.
yeah, I knew you didn't say it right. I was
Okay.
like, I said it correct, but I think it sounded weird when he
This
said it.
is good whiskey. So the MVP trophy was left behind, and the trainer actually had to bring it back out to him.
Thank you, Ken.
I have all those too.
Is that Joe Hoopman? Has he already joined us?
All right, ladies.
Hey,
and
I'm on here.
gentlemen,
Here we
that
go.
was the NBA, but I think our special guest from St. Louis, Joe Motherjuckin Hooters, is coming up next. What say you, my friend?
Hey, what's going on? I'm here from Chesterville, Missouri, which is right outside St. Louis. Yes. Here for the 13 UAA Kansas City Monarchs tournament.
It don't sound good for some reason.
Oh,
It
very
doesn't
nice.
Sound good?
Oh no, you're fine.
I tried to look for a theme song real quick for you, and it sounds
He just didn't
shit.
like your voice. That's all.
no, there's.
So you're from
so
Chesterfield? Chesterville?
Chesterfield. It's right outside of St. Louis.
So how long have you lived in Chesterfield? Right outside. yeah, Chesterfield.
Field is
I've
this?
lived here for
There's a
about
bunch
3
of
hours.
Chesterfield,
About 3 hours, I'd
Chesterfield,
say.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. We'll edit some of this.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry, Joe. Hooters. All right. Welcome to the show, my friend.
You know what? I don't think we'll edit any of this.
We might not. Okay. Here's the thing.
No,
Joe,
he won't. He won't.
There's all kinds of background noise there. Is there? What's
Okay,
up with
yeah,
that?
there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's a lot of stuff going on
Okay,
here.
so do you have, so you don't have any type of earbuds in
See,
there?
there's Joey Mullets.
Joe,
Hey,
in
Joey
there.
Mullets.
do you
I
have
don't
any?
see Joey, but I
This
see
is
the mullet.
Alice. There you go, our left fielder.
Yeah, they're
Anybody else
earbuds.
coming
He
through?
can't hear nothing.
You don't have any earbuds?
Hey, there's our
right,
ace
let's all
pitcher.
just wait until he
Cash
introduces
money,
everybody.
Cash money. You know
What's
it.
up,
Oh,
fellas?
there's one of the twins. That's an Ivy boy right there. That's his twin.
Just one of them. Okay. Come on, guys, step in
They look
there.
the same. You don't know which one is which.
Right. I remember those fellas. Good kids.
Yeah.
Dad, when they got sent play football.
All right, Joe. 3, 2, 1. Hey, so welcome to the show, Joe. Because it was like a mess out there. So your earbuds are picking up a lot of background, but
I don't
man,
think he
so-
has earbuds in.
He does.
Yeah, he does. He's got the one right there.
I do.
You see that?
I do.
Oh.
I think a lot of people
Where's the
just
other
left.
one?
So
Okay, we're not gonna talk about his earbuds.
The other one's like laying on the table. Pick it up off the table, Joe. We can hear everything.
you know where the other one is. Come on.
Oh, jeez. All right, Joe. So, hey,
I don't know. How do you say?
shut
That's
up,
where all the
Anissa.
noise is coming from.
So, Joe, you wanted to talk. So we talked about.
So it sounded like a lot of people cleared out.
Yeah, it sure did.
So,
Go
ahead.
It got quiet real quick. So we just got through talking about
Yeah,
the NBA finals and all about NBA, man. So what did you want to talk about as far as that goes and anything else?
We covered all the Jokic and the parade and
So,
the finals and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I heard you, Ken, talking about how Jokic lost his
here we go with Jokic
his
again.
MVP Finals trophy.
Oh, Jokovic! Real quick, right? We didn't talk about this about Wembanyama, so I think the Spurs, right, have the #1 pick.
Yep.
I think for Wembanyama, that's perfect, dude. He's going to
absolutely.
He
You
gets to
look at
play
the number
with,
one picks that they've
Yes.
had.
He gets to play with Greg Popovich, and if you look at Greg Popovich, he had David Robinson. He helped develop Tim Duncan.
Yep.
I couldn't imagine him going actually to a better team, especially with the #1 pick.
Yeah.
You're usually going to a team that just sucks ass, not the best coach in the world, and I feel like he fell into the right spot.
Yeah, they actually, I believe they're bringing Tim Duncan back to mentor the young kid. And they also said, I've also heard rumors that they said the Spurs have been fielding like trades, teams trying to trade up to take Wembanyama, and the Spurs are just like, nope.
They know what they got.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, everything that I've heard is saying he's the biggest prospect ever.
Dude.
You know, ahead of LeBron, ahead of Lou Alcindor, Kareem back in the day. Like,
Yeah.
he's that good.
So I watched some clips today, right? I mean, so the guy's 7'5", right? He's probably you said 7'4". He's probably 7'4". They always lie a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we'll call him 7'4". So, anyways, he was moving. I would say very similar to Kevin Durant. I would say
Yeah.
that was, but he's not necessarily quite as quick yet, and that makes sense. He's a little bit taller, right? But man, his dribbling skills
Yeah.
are there.
His ball handling's
right?
there. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, you look at
Mid-range.
any center that's ever Yao Ming is one of the centers I could think of that was decent, that was over 7 foot. So it's like, okay, who are your centers that were over 7 foot that were able to take the ball coast to coast, right?
Yep.
And not that Yao Ming did it a lot, but he could do it, right? Outside of him, who else has there been? And none of them, by the way, have been as tall as Wembanyama at 7'5".
So one of the guys who always flies under the radar because he showed up to the NBA before or after his prime, was Arvydas Sabonis. And he showed up to Portland. He was originally drafted like in the mid 80s.
Dude was old too, man.
I know, and that's what I'm saying.
You said boner.
He was drafted in the 80s, I believe, and never showed up to the States until like the late 90s, and he was a baller. If he would have showed up, he had Shaq's build, but he had, like what we're talking about, he was huge. Arvydas?
Yeah, no, I remember Arvydas
Oh,
Sabonis.
yeah, he was big.
I wouldn't call it Shaq's build, but
Well, he was 7'6" and like hefty, like solid.
I would
He
have called
wasn't-
it like he's closer to
Let's see. I don't.
Jokic, right? As far as build.
No, he was way fatter because he was older when he showed up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, are we done with NBA?
If you want to be, Waltz, apparently you want to move on.
Did you have anything else there, real quick, Ken? Because
No.
I mean, that was pretty much it that I had to talk to about that. But it sounds like KC Waltz definitely has something he's just chomping at the bit to move into.
No, if you,
No?
I mean,
Oh, well, okay.
You guys
He
still
just
want
wanted
to talk
see
about
if we were
NBA?
good.
I just,
No, I think
you
we
want
might
to talk
be good
about
on the NBA.
the best centers that have ball handles?
No, honestly,
You know,
I think
Okay.
anyone that might be watching this, they're probably over the NBA right now, right? It's been, what, a week? The NBA
we've
finals
been
are
on it
over.
for quite a while. So.
But hey, guys, we didn't mention the date. I think the NBA draft is June 22nd.
Right around the corner, yeah.
And I think I might have heard. Let's all give our predictions real quick, right? If you gave it already, great. Where is Grady Dick gonna go in the draft? Is he gonna be a lottery pick?
Nope.
Lottery pick. I think that's quite the push. I'm going to give him probably. So outside of the lottery pick, I honestly see him going to like Oklahoma Thunder just at 12.
Really?
Oklahoma
Okay.
City, yeah.
I feel like he's going to drop even further. I don't know if the hype is just because we live in Kansas and so we're hearing certain things, right?
No, best to you, Grady Dick, but yeah,
I honestly feel like we're going to see him go about 21, 22.
should have stuck around. Yeah, I was thinking 20s. Yeah. I agree with T.I.
Part of the reason why I chose Oklahoma City is because the dude is a Wichita boy, so that, geographically it's real close to where his people are and everything like that.
You think Oklahoma Thunder gives a shit about
You
that?
think they're going to be like, you know what? Let's go ahead and
absolutely.
get
Do
him.
they?
That way
Yeah.
he'll feel more comfortable and not so far away from his
Who
parents.
else
Right,
did they
like,
draft? They
what?
drafted Cole. They drafted
here
what's
we
his
go.
name?
No.
Well, if they're making their decisions just based on where people would live
Bring asses in
geographically,
the
that's
seats?
okay. You maybe there's that's a decent argument to make. I don't
See
know
what you
enough
did,
about
T.I.?
it to combat
You see
it.
what
Who's
you
gonna
did?
go
I
to
was ready
Oklahoma
to move
City?
on, but
Who's
see
gonna
what
go
you
to
did?
Oklahoma City?
That's what you get.
Yes.
Local.
Okay.
That's your fault, T.I.
Well, I think it's a good time to go ahead and move on. What do we
You
have
think
up
so?
next?
There we
go.
Yes,
There we go.
I do.
You think so?
I do.
All right. Well, next up is guess what? You damn right. It's the NFL.
It's the boys.
It's the motherfucking Chiefs. All right. So they had their ring ceremony. Did you guys see this? So Chris Jones was absent. Obviously absent.
Chris
but he
Jones?
did go.
How you gonna miss a ring ceremony,
Yeah.
Chris Jones? What the fuck?
Did I not say it right? Like
I didn't know he
Jokic?
did not show up.
He did
Yeah,
not show up.
I didn't know that either.
Okay.
Like, it's different from training camp, but he's trying to send a message.
So he did not show up for the ring ceremony. He was there for Washington, D.C. Well, hell yeah, that's a chance of a lifetime. Yeah. But isn't getting another Super Bowl ring a chance of a lifetime? But he already got one.
He's like,
but-
been there, done that.
yeah, I guess so. So,
He's still going to get his ring regardless.
They'll mail it to him.
well, yeah. So does he have to be there for the whole charade? That's how it's pronounced. Charade.
Maybe he was on vacation with his family.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Well, did you know in England they call it a holiday?
oh yes, we're gone for the holiday. I'm going on holiday.
Or it's actually pronounced holiday. You don't say the
Holiday.
H. It's more.
We're
like
going
a
on holiday for all the day.
All right. So, anyways, he wasn't.
So back to Jones. Man.
So he wasn't there, but he got the rings. And who the?
Hey, Risky Ray has joined the Ad Astra Boys. Surprise guest, Risky Ray. We did not know you was going to make it, but Great to see you, brother.
All right, hang on a second, Risky Ray. Let me prepare for this because I was not ready for you, my friend. So, let's see.
Yeah, Lake of the
Still.
Ozarks, Papa Chubby's, mile marker 26.
Okay,
Oh, yeah. Living the RV life.
I believe the
Nice.
last time we went live with you, you were there. Are you still there? They won't let you out or something? Are you okay? You need some help?
Yeah, no, it's just a nice, it's a nice getaway. It's a nice retreat. If you can get away for 2-3 days and, come down for fireworks and a big, vacation days, Memorial. 4th of July, it's a good
Absolutely,
time.
Ray. So, hey, what are you sipping on there, my friend?
Oh, I had a Corona.
You had one.
But I forgot where it went.
Well, they don't drink down there. I think it's against the
Corona.
law to be drinking down there in the Lake of the Ozarks. Am I correct on that?
Well, you got to be
that's
driving
on the lake.
hold on,
That's
hold
on
on.
the lake.
You got to be driving a boat, then you could drink.
Oh, that's what it is. So you're not driving a boat unless you're on a houseboat. That looks a nice little background there.
Hey, yeah, it's our new redone, kind of somewhat redone in the front RV. Yeah, so we're chilling and.
Okay, so this was a nice surprise. We didn't know you were coming on. Joe told us that you couldn't make it, whatever, but you're here. It doesn't matter. So, what do you say, Risky Ray? What kind of risky picks do you have today?
We're out of the NBA. We're pushing into the MLB. We got the NFL coming up. What do you like there, Ray?
I don't know if you guys know, but if you go to all of your sites that you're using,
Right.
no matter what it is, they have week one
Already.
NFL Live odds already
Nice.
out. Yes. Prop bets
Yeah.
are available. Everything's going. And it's just OTAs right now. It's crazy. It's just OTAs right now. So if you go look at the Chiefs, they're favored by 6.5 right now. And I think the over-under is like 53.5. Jump on the Chiefs and the over as soon as you can. It's just
Already
gonna go
on
up
Detroit.
from
You
here.
think so? Even after what Detroit did at the end of the year, putting everything together, showing up, looking like a team, drafting Gibbs as their running back.
Exactly. So they have some new faces. That's why. And they're trying to integrate all of those new
Yeah.
faces. They're going to see how it works. And historically, the Super Bowl winner, we're opening up the season. The Super Bowl winner have won like the last 14 out of 15 games and has covered the
Right.
spread. So I mean, like, just do the math. It's your home team. Put money on the Chiefs. Start the season off. With the
Okay.
bang.
On top of that, so you got Kansas City opening up on, I think MGM Bets has them already at plus 650 for Super Bowl odds, followed by the Eagles, the Bills, Bengals, and then 49ers. Where are you sitting on that? Like Super Bowl chances? Any surprises? Or of course you're a hometown boy. I'm guessing. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you want the Chiefs to ride. Who else you got coming out of the NFC, or do you have somebody coming out of the AFC upsetting the Chiefs?
Well, your best bet is to get the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. You'll win a little bit of money, but you won't win a lot of money. But that's the safest bet. Obviously, odds are we're going to repeat. But I have a feeling that if you wait, probably somewhere around, I don't know, game 5, game 6, 5, 6, and 7 in there, the Chiefs possibly could have maybe 2 losses by that time. Possibly. I mean, I know I'm wishing for an undefeated season, but, that's wishful thinking. But I bet you can get better odds during week 5, 6, or 7. I'm willing to bet that you're going to get better odds for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. You'll get way more than what it is
Okay,
right now.
so as far as futures, what do you have possibilities, opening up for us?
All right, so check this out on futures. I love Patrick Mahomes over 4,700 yards.
I do
love
like
it.
that as well. The guys that he's working with, you got Kelsey coming back. He's getting a little bit older, but still producing. Sky Moore coming into his second year. Rashee Rice just signed, $6 million deal, I think is what we're looking at for him. If there is.
Now, the one thing that really scares me a little bit is Patrick Mahomes' 40-plus touchdowns per season.
Really?
This season. It really is because, I mean, last season he had 41 touchdowns. 41. And that was an MVP season.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little scared of regression, just because I think that, I mean, yes, he does have all those offensive weapons, but it's Andy Reid, man. Andy Reid will dial up some shit. Travis Kelce may have 3 touchdowns this season. You know, I mean, like, it's very possible. And with the running game dynamic and getting those guys back, you know, it's going to be a nice balance, and you got to have balance to key, and that's how you.
Yeah,
win
I think that was huge. I think that was huge bringing back McKinnon. It's kind of, I'm still up in the air on what they're going to do with Hilaire. I don't know if they're going to let him go, bring him back, let him play through it. I know they didn't pick up his 5th-year option, but, you know, he's still a baller. You know, he put up all those touchdowns, and I think he still has a chance. I think they want him to prove himself out there. But I don't see the regression. If I'm me being the betting guy, I'm going to take the over on that on the 40, because you got Sky Moore, like I said, in the 2nd year. A lot of the touchdowns didn't go to Juju, you know, who's gone. But, you know, you got everybody you got everybody else that's going to step up, and I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like where they're at.
That's true. You know what? Ken, I agree with you. But to answer your question on Clyde, you got to remember, Andy Reid, he likes carrying 5 running backs, and we got to have some depth. So we don't know what's going to happen. McKinnon, he's a great guy. He knows how to stay healthy. You know, we don't know what's going to happen with Pacheco. Pacheco played hurt last season. I know he's a boss.
He played with a broken hand in the Super Bowl. That is that is the dude right there.
Exactly.
That's the kind of workhorse that I like right there.
Hey, so I want to jump in on this real quick.
I just don't want him to do it.
Yeah.
I just don't want him to do
Right.
it.
I've always said this about Pacheco. That dude always plays like his life is on the line. And the other thing is, like, he plays like he does not give a fuck about injury, right? So that dude, I love him and Kadarius Toney. I wanted to jump in on the over-under I think you guys were talking about for this year's touchdowns. Right, yeah. Give you guys some context, right? His first full year starting in 2018, we all remember that historic year, right? He threw for 50 touchdowns that year.
Yeah.
So, like you said, there was regression the following year, and I didn't realize that he only threw 26 touchdowns the following year. Not that he even threw all of them. Hell, some of those could have been the secondary quarterback. I don't remember if we missed games that year or not.
Yeah, that's when he displaced his knee, and I think he missed 4 games. So that's part of it.
Right. And then so in 2020, he had 38. In 2021, he had 37. And then 2022, he had 41. So I like the under, but, man, I know my guy's capable of the over.
It's scary. It's scary. Well, let's stay in the same vein, all right? So I got one for you. Here's a juicy one. Now, you can get – this is season. The most passing yards for the season. Obviously, Pat Mahomes is favored at like plus 450. But the next ones behind that, you got Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert at plus 700. Last season, Justin Herbert, even as bad as he played, he still threw for more than 4,700 yards. Joe Burrow threw for a little bit over 44, almost 4,500 yards. So I actually like Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert to be the season leader for passing yards next season. I'm not trying to talk. He's going to do his things. He's going to ball out. Pat Mahomes is going to ball out. But
I hear what you're saying, man. I feel like Joe Burrow out of any of them, I think it's his biggest competition.
So these guys know I'm a certified Aaron Rodgers fan. So now, what do you think about Aaron Rodgers going up to New York Jets, throwing to Garrett Wilson and all those guys up there? I actually like Aaron Rodgers possibly going over 5,000 yards, throwing for 40-plus touchdowns, and keeping his interceptions down to, 6, 7. What do you think about that?
I don't like
Ray.
You know what, though?
No, shut up.
He's going to have a great season because Garrett Wilson is out of this world. If Garrett Wilson is not on your fantasy radar, then you should just not play fantasy football. So I'm telling you right now, now you have Aaron Rodgers throwing to him, dude. Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers is overrated.
Now, he's going to put up numbers. I just don't see him just killing it and taking it over the top.
Yeah.
Now this is my last one, guys. This is my last one. All right. Now I think this one is This is Whiskey Ray.
Woohoo, let's write it down. Okay.
No, wait a second.
Hold on.
You,
No.
you had the nerve to call yourself Whiskey Ray?
I thought I heard that too.
No, my friend, Risky Ray, because we all have to take risks with you.
Hold
But
on.
Whiskey,
Hold on.
I ain't gonna lie.
nay.
Hold on,
Whiskey Ray's when he's in the Lake of the
yeah,
Ozarks.
go ahead,
Whiskey
Whiskey Ray.
Ray's in the Lake of the Ozarks.
I feel like Ray's,
Risky Ray is back here in
Yeah.
the city. So go ahead.
I feel like
Whiskey
Ray's
Ray.
going somewhere with this.
All right, here we go. Here's the lock of the season. To win the division, you got the Jags out the South, and then KC out of the West. Parlay both of those, and you got plus 164. That is your lock of the season. If you want to make money, take the Jags and KC to win their division. You got to think.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yes. He is now the quarterback with the most experience in that
Yeah.
division.
I honestly think he could be a
That's,
top 5 quarterback this
that's
year.
the
Easy.
South, right?
Yes, AFC South, exactly. You got C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson in there.
Whoever the
and
Texans
who
are going to
was the other
throw.
guy they got in there? yeah, exactly. Indiana's Cole, whoever they
that's
got.
Stroud.
But
Sorry.
Trevor Lawrence,
Yep.
yeah, but Trevor Lawrence, he's going to have an amazing season. I mean, if he's not on your fantasy radar, you should just stop playing fantasy football. But he's going to win the South, guaranteed. And of course, you got to go Pat Mahomes. No one's going to. Who you think the donkey?
His name is Patrick.
Pat Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
You think the Raiders are?
So what is
Only
We
Denver.
don't
only
say,
Denver
we
will
don't
give
say
them trouble,
that team
possibly.
name here. What we call them is the Las Vegas football team that we would never say their name on this show.
Patrick?
Can you remember that?
Can I call them the? Can I call them the?
There
Raiders?
you go.
That's fine. It rhymes.
So
All right, okay.
So
cool.
just for some points here, Aaron Rodgers is plus 2,000 to lead the league in passing next year. That sounds like a pretty good bet to me. Plus 2,000.
He
on
ain't
100.
gonna lead the
sounds like you're gonna give
league
your money away to
in
Vegas.
passing, man.
for a betting prop. I
terrible.
like that. I like that.
You go ahead and make that bet.
They have Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence, possibly Kirk Cousins.
Risky
ahead
Ray,
of
there's
this
a lot
guy.
of ridiculous things that are
I
going
don't
to
think so.
Vegas. So this, I don't see why this wouldn't be anything different. Thank you, Risky. Anything else, Risky Ray?
Right? I told you. I'm just trying to give you lots.
Hey, we have it written down. We have Whiskey Ray's locks from the Ozarks as division winners, Jags, Kansas City, and that'll get you plus 164.
Yep.
All right, we got it, buddy.
Thank you, Risky Ray. Let's give a huge applause to my
Later,
friend,
brother. Enjoy your
Risky
time there.
Ray.
Avoid the meth.
All right.
So I wanted to go back to the whole Sky Moore. I was thinking about this all week long, and I am going to say it right here, right now. This is your sleeper pick for the fantasy league.
Nope.
I think he's going to make a difference. I kind of wanted to say explode, but I think he's going to be huge. And then pick him up for your fantasy league. You can pick him up late. You can pick him up cheap, and he's going to make a huge difference for you.
What was your record
Sleeper.
in fantasy last year?
I won it. Oh, here's my belt right here.
That you did?
Yeah, I won it all right here.
The belt
So
actually.
let's
is
go
in front
ahead
of
and
its
move on
rightful
now.
owner.
So Aaron Rodgers,
Right.
look, I don't care. I don't give a rat's ass how big of a fan you are. I could be a fan of all kinds of players, but I'll be honest and say, hey, they're losing it, whatever. Dude, he had players in Green Bay. He had good coaches.
Devontae Adams.
He's just Aaron Rodgers. He's Aaron Rodgers. He looks good during the freaking season, but then when it comes down to actually playing, what did he do? Won it once?
Man, everyone's hanging
Won
on
the
to
Super Bowl,
look,
yeah.
Everyone's hanging on to yesterday when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, and that's just how I see it.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Aaron Rodgers had never had a first round draft pick at a wide receiver to play for him.
It doesn't matter. He had Devontae Adams, who was
Yeah.
the number one receiver in the
Okay.
NFL for
Did Patrick
several
Mahomes?
years.
You're
Did Patrick
right.
Mahomes?
That's ludicrous.
You're right, but name another receiver for him.
He had Randall Cobb.
Randall
Cobb
Cobb.
was solid, yes.
Who was
he had,
90 playing last year.
Ken, it doesn't matter about your wide receivers. It's about your quarterback. I mean, look at
Had
Tom
they played
Brady.
with Patrick,
He
they
made
might have had more.
mediocre wide receivers look fantastic. And then those mediocre wide receivers went to other teams and faded out.
Do you know Tom Brady always played for a top 10 defense?
It helps.
Always.
You could be number 9. You can still lose if you're in a mediocre.
But it makes a huge difference if you have a decent quarterback.
So what you're saying is Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT.
Patrick, I'll agree with that. Yeah,
Me too.
But I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of things that factor into it. Like, you just can't
that's
say
true.
you just can't say Aaron Rodgers is trash when he had a horrible defense constantly. Never had a number one receiver to throw to aside from
There
Devontae
were
Adams.
low-scoring games. He
Yes,
still.
it's when you look at how many yards did he throw for, how many touchdowns did
He
he
was
throw for.
throwing interceptions when
He
it
was
mattered.
very low, and guess what? He wasn't playing
Because
defense.
they're
He was
double
playing
covering,
offense.
They're double covering.
Has
Adams,
nothing to do
and
with the
then-
defense.
Then
though.
look to other places. He kept on throwing interceptions, bro. No.
He could throw it to Robert
Nah,
Tonyan.
nah.
Dude, no matter what,
Robert
Ken,
Tonyan, who was
dude,
hurt last year.
No matter what, we're gonna hate on Aaron Rodgers.
You can
bro,
hate on him all you
so-
want. He carries me in fantasy all. the
Oh,
time.
bullshit.
No,
Oh, no,
For the
that
last
hell,
2
hey,
years,
dude.
you picked him up and he did nothing for
Oh,
you.
really? Look at
Nothing.
not last year's stats, a year before stats.
The
he
year
was the
before
MVP.
also.
Hold on. So the one year that you
don't
won the
look it
title,
up.
the one year that you won the
Oh,
fantasy title in my
please,
league.
I've won
Hold on.
multiple
No. I'm talking about
championships.
my league. I'm talking about my league.
Your
so,
league.
dude, I'm
The
not
league
trying to
that I won
dog you.
last year.
Take it easy.
This is mine.
No, it's not. But
This is the
it
league
actually
that
is
I
in
won
front of the
last year.
person that won. But
Well, I don't want everything in front of me.
the year that you won in my league, did you have Aaron Rodgers as your
I
starting
don't
quarterback?
remember. I've won so many leagues I can't keep track of when I won.
Well, you
your
know what?
league.
I'm in
here we
3
go
leagues
with
with
this
you,
shit.
and I know and I can tell you which of those that you've won. So I don't know about your other leagues, but I know about the leagues that I'm in with you, which are 3, by the way. And you didn't win any of them last
That
year
doesn't
with Aaron
even
Rodgers.
matter. The argument
I didn't
with,
have Aaron
with,
Rodgers
with Aaron-
last year.
that
He was
doesn't
on my
even-
bench.
That
Where he should be.
Yeah, because I had
Put him
better
on your bench
options.
this year too. Just plug him in whenever you're real.
All right, remember
Fuck you.
that.
We hate Aaron Rodgers.
He also loved Jimmy G. Jimmy G.
Who? No, I've never.
Yeah, you do.
played
You're a
with
big
Jimmy
fan of
G.
them. You're a big fan of
All
the
right, all
Vegas
right.
team.
All
that-
right, we'll move on.
Vegas football team that will
Aaron
never say
Rodgers
their
is a
name
great
on this.
player, but we're never going to say nothing nice about him on here.
You don't
other
have
than
to.
Ken.
You don't have to.
That's true.
I'm just saying, from a betting perspective, I will take that as plus 2,000 for a $100 bet. That's a nice bet.
Oh man, that's $100 you're going to lose.
All right, we're gonna move on from then. All right, so Vinny Pasquatch, Pasquatino.
Gone for the year.
For the year. Initially, it was 10 days.
For the year, yeah.
For the year, he's having surgery.
Torn
He's
labrum.
done. Torn labrum, which is, I believe, in your big toe. Am I right, Ken?
No, let me show you.
Pretty close. Oh, that's right. Hey, by the way, out of all the hosts on this show,
there, that's a torn labrum, right?
Ken has had the most fucking surgeries out of
this-
anybody that I've ever known.
This is a torn labrum.
On both sides, both sides of his fucking body.
Yeah.
And all the way down to his pinky toes.
He's had it on. Look. He's had surgery on his metatarsals, his phalanges, his femur.
Nothing on
and
the lower half.
I
Nothing
can-
on the lower
I
half.
can
It's
go
all upper
on.
body. It's
Fuck,
all upper
man.
body.
I feel bad for the company that you work for. They're probably
Yes.
like, what the fuck,
This
man?
motherfucker.
Workman comp is great.
Yeah.
So tell us about the Royals, man. What's going on with the Royals these days? I mean, we got the injury update, and I think Salvy's day to day. He's got a hand injury. What's going on with Salvy?
Well, they threw a nasty ass pitch and they hit him in his. I think it pitched more of his fat than anything else as far as his hand goes. So he's day to day, but he keeps on getting hit. He keeps on, dude. Okay, so I think nowadays, in order to fill up the stands, people are going to watch their favorite rival teams that are coming into town. Like for instance,
Oh, yeah. It's,
this weekend,
traveling.
Anaheim. Anaheim's in town. Everybody wants to go see that phenom, Otani, and then supposedly the best baseball player that's living right now.
Mike Trout.
Yeah, Mike Bass. So Good luck, Royals.
Are we really going? Maybe they are, right? But I don't think so. Like people are going to be like,
yeah, they have a lot of promotions going on. Like so last Monday they brought Travis Kelce out in the Kansas City Chiefs. Kelce got a redemption for his first pitch.
Yeah.
Got to throw
Patrick
that
Mahomes
out.
was out there. Well, he has
Andy
a little
Reid,
share
Patrick
in it.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
He's an owner.
So what was
so
the-
they're trying.
What was the count? Anybody know?
The count of the fan count.
Fans.
I don't know. I didn't see that. And then the following day, they had like the Royals basketball jersey. They're doing a lot of giveaways,
know
a
what?
lot of stuff to try to put
Yeah, but-
asses in the seats.
but
I think
Ken-
they're trying, but I bet it's not working like they thought.
yeah,
but were these promotions already there prior to the season starting though?
they were there, but I don't know if they were to the degree like the Chiefs
Or is it
one.
just coincidental?
Yeah, I don't know if the
Coincidental?
Chiefs coincidental.
That's a coincidental.
So I don't
won't
know
go
if the
too tough on
Chief
you for
ones
that.
was going to be as big as it was as they made it out to be, to where they brought in Andy and Kelsey and Patrick and all those guys like that. I think that just kind of coincided with the ring ceremony that just happened the other day. So everybody was in town. They're like, "Hey, we were going to bring you out to the stadium. We're going to try to put some butts in the seats, stuff like that."
Come on, Chris Jones. Sorry, I heard that again, and I thought about Chris Jones. I ain't gonna lie, man. Come on.
And then, but on top of what you were saying, like, I honestly want to go see Ohtani play. I want to go see Mike Trout play. You're talking
Yeah.
about two of the most
don't.
iconic baseball players in the league right now. You're talking about Shohei Ohtani, who's, got 105 strikeouts.
Hey, when we went to Corey's wedding and we were out there in
Anaheim,
yeah, was Otani already playing?
no,
I didn't
he
think so.
just got in the
But
league
Mike
probably
Trout
about-
was.
Mike Trout was, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he was dominant player. Doing, he scooted into the bathroom. Tony, we can see you in the mirror.
It was like running and shit. Not really running, but more of a trot.
Right.
Okay.
So we were. So I'm one of those guys that, like, if someone shows up to what do we call him, Original Richard, or what's Richard's name? What do we call Richard?
Just plain Dick.
Just Plain Dick. So Just Plain Dick was on the show.
JPD.
Yeah, he was just on the show last week, and
Damn.
he was one of the guys who was trying to get us all to go out and watch Ellie De La Cruz, who's the up and coming prospect for the Cincinnati Reds, to go to the game. And it coincided with the Chiefs thing, so wanted to go watch him. I want to go watch Shohei. Those guys that I do want to watch show up to the Royal Stadium and play a baseball game. Just today, the Royals called up their number 19 prospect, Samed Taylor.
What'd you say about
Oh
my
yeah,
mama?
Ahmed, great prospect. I don't know who he is. Tell us about him.
I couldn't tell you either.
Did he
but,
play? Did he play today?
I don't know. I saw that
probably
they
sat
called
on
him
the
up. I
bench.
think they actually did set him on the bench, is what I was reading. But they brought him up. That's what they need to do. They're going with the youth movement. I mean, they jump a whole bunch of guys. The kid's batting like over 300 in AAA. Couple, I think he has like eight or nine home runs, bunch of stolen bases. So they're kind of wanting to measure him, see what he does in the MLB. So there's a lot of stuff that I do want to see with the Royals, but they're,
Hey, so on the Royals, right? They're let's update on Royals real quick, right? We're 18-50 overall right now.
Nice.
Right? Yes.
That's not much of an update.
We're 9-26 at home. But here's the thing, and I found I didn't know this. The Royals
this
hitters,
is a ridiculous stat.
Yes, they're batting a collective 233, which actually ranks 10th.
Ooh, that's really
It ranks 10th in the American League. So what that tells us is
Good?
when you
Is
look
that
at the
good?
competition, it is. When you look, 10th is pretty solid. So, and Ken alluded to this earlier on. I'm sure you and Joe probably did at some point too. Our pitching is just letting us down. It's our fucking pitching, man.
You know what? So what it is that okay? So it's a collaboration. So either our batting does well in a game and our pitching lets us down, but a majority of the time it's our batting that lets us down and the pitching does just okay. But
I don't know about just. I don't agree.
The majority of the time they both suck. And they have too many blunders out there, too many errors. It's a collaboration of everything all together. It's rare that you see both doing well. That's where you get the 18 wins, right? Other than that, everybody sucks.
Yeah. So I think maybe a point that you hit on, right? I think in a previous episode. So with the Royals batting a collective 233, that doesn't sound great to me. But when they say, hey, it's the 10th in the American League, then I'm like, okay, maybe it's okay. But to your point, so yeah, I think they're getting the hits, but it's about when you're getting the hits.
They're
right?
leaving too many people on bases.
I've been seeing a lot of that this year. So I think what we're looking at now is, yeah, they're getting the hits, but man, they're not getting the hits at the right time.
I actually think we're leading the major leagues and leaving too many people on base.
That's
Okay,
not
so-
a good thing to lead in.
I misunderstood what you had told me earlier. I thought you said they were 10th in the MLB, so they're only 10th
In the American League,
Oh,
right? Out of
there's
how many
only
teams?
15.
No,
In the AL?
Oh,
That's what I'm
okay.
saying. So out of the MLB, there's
okay.
30.
So y'all can tell I don't watch enough. I don't watch too much baseball. In my mind,
That's
I'll be
what
honest,
threw me
in
off.
my
So many
mind,
notes.
In my mind, I'm thinking about 30 teams. I really was in my head. So
Okay, and
to
that's
your
what threw.
point,
Yeah.
To your point, that's not good.
So initially, when he told me, he said they were
Not
10th
good.
in MLB batting, and I was like, no way.
I did
with
say
the,
AL,
yeah,
but
with
you had that
with
reaction like,
and I was
really?
like, no way. And then he goes, yeah, and I
Don't
was
worry,
like,
we'll edit the whole wax segment out.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
was-
you will.
Well,
it's
no,
gonna it's just
we're-
gonna
no,
blend
we're-
right on there.
We're gonna leave it in the full ep, but we're not gonna do any.
I was trying to
short
give
clips
the
for
original
Royals.
TI his props, and I was like, that's a fucking awesome stat.
Except it's not.
But then when you mentioned that, he was like 10th in the AL, I was like, okay, that takes a whole nother perspective
Yeah,
on
so
it.
never mind.
So
The Royals
you're
suck.
looking 10th out of
Sorry.
15
Not
teams. That's
sorry.
not including the. So let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and just say there's 10 more team or 5 other teams on the other side of the league that's worse than them. So let's put them at 20. So that makes a little more sense to me.
So I think from here on out, if one of us go to a Royals game, we could talk about it, the experience or whatever. If we have another call up,
For real.
another pitcher, we could talk about that. Other than that, man, we'll see you next year.
It's a rebuilding year. It's a
Real.
rebuilding
Hey,
year.
You said it best. We'll see you next year, man.
So shall we transition then?
We shall transition.
And hey, by the way, let's go ahead and give a quick shout out to Smoketown Barbecue.
7702 Shawnee Mission Parkway.
Did you get it right this time?
That is correct.
All
I didn't
right.
say 7200.
The
It is
home.
7702.
Of the famous sandwich, Smoketown Throwdown.
And I got to say, that looks delicious.
Oh, you're going to throw something up there? Okay.
Well, now you kind of fucked it up. Oh, you're going to throw something up there? Just roll with it.
I'm
next
sure
time.
you're. Well, you're looking. I
Yeah.
thought you,
Well, I was pointing to where it was going to be.
I thought there was something edible up there because I'm
well,
starting to get hungry.
there will be when you watch this.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we will be broadcasting from Smoketown Barbecue, 7702 Shawnee Mission Parkway.
Live, but only in person.
Next week, am I friend right?
Is that right? Is it next weekend?
It is already next Friday.
So we'll just leave this on here. So Scott sent a text, right?
Yeah.
And he said, "Hey, he wants to do it after hours," which I kind of agreed. It might be tough if we do it while people are there with all the background noise, right?
I would have loved it when they were there.
It would have been cool. But then he said, so Scott, if you're watching this, you mentioned that, hey, maybe the family will stick around after the show, after hours, and
Bubba.
watch us. So kind of wondered about that. I was like,
Bubba.
are they going to do this while they're cleaning up? Are we waiting for them to finish cleaning up? I mean,
No. Well, according to Scott McCombs, the anonymous Texas fan, he said that we can hang out there. We're going to have barbecue and we're going to have some drinks and whatever, and then we'll set
free
up.
food.
And then,
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't say free. We can go ahead and pay
Yes.
the tab, like all of the collaboration. If he says, "Hey
We will.
guys, don't worry about it," then then we'll pay a little tip or something. I got a
Big tip. Big
I
tip.
got a tip for you. So we're gonna go ahead and just start setting up. We'll take some lights out, and then this is gonna be our first time ever in all these fantastic episodes that the Astra boys are gonna be broadcasting, not live, but pre-recorded from another location, Smoketown Barbecue.
But we will be live if you're there in person. So don't forget to come on out.
Yeah, don't come on out because it's gonna be after
Oh, wait a minute, because we're going to be on
We're gonna
after
be
hours.
closed.
Come out before, and
Thank you, T.I.
maybe you could shake Casey Waltz's hand
Just say hi.
as you're leaving, and we're setting up.
with my big ring.
Yeah. So what else do we have on this slate? Anything else
you know what?
before
Yes.
we move into? Go ahead. Yes. What?
Dude, I wanted to bring up, when we transitioned over to NFL, I wanted to bring up. So there was an interview. There was an interview.
Oh,
to this,
yes.
what's
yes.
his name?
Antonio Brown?
Kinda, sorta.
Jamila Hill, Jamarcus
No,
Hill.
it's like
Oh,
like a running
Jamar. Oh, the Chase
I
guy.
thought it was
The Chase
Jamal.
guy. Yes.
Jamal Run. Let's
Mr.
call him Jamal Run.
Mr. Chase.
Mr. Chase.
Jamar.
What's up, Jamar?
Chase.
You're a hell of a receiver, but you're
From
whack on the media.
Cincinnati motherfucking Bengals. All right, so he was no. Let's go ahead and backtrack
give him
a
his
little bit.
props.
Go ahead, back
Okay.
it up. Back it up.
So they interviewed Joe Burrow. I like that guy. I do like that guy. Burrow hit my ass. I do like
Joe
him.
Burrow, here's to you, buddy.
He is
second
pretty,
best
he is
quarterback
pretty-
in the league.
Yeah, he is pretty cool. So they interviewed him and hey, who's the best quarterback out there? And he actually said Patrick Mahomes, a good man. He proved a lot. And blah blah blah. This
What
and
else?
that.
What
Just
else
gave him
could he have
props.
said?
Right. I mean, you know what? That's humble. Thank you, Joe Burrow. But this dude is writing a lot of checks. Joe Burrow is writing a lot of motherfucking checks. Burrow?
Yeah, I didn't know about this. Inform me.
He's writing a lot of checks that his own players cannot fucking cash.
All right, I think you're saying it wrong.
Yeah.
I think you're saying it backwards.
I think
you're
his
saying
players
his
are
players
writing-
are writing a lot of checks that Joe Burrow ain't going to be able to cash. Because Joe Burrow has nothing.
Joe Burrow's
been
not
nothing
talking
but
the shit.
positive for Patrick Mahomes.
But he's writing checks for his own players.
How?
And they're bouncing.
Okay, how?
Because his own players, like Jamar Chase,
So they're writing checks.
They're writing the checks.
Not
Walt-
Joe
Walt
Burrow.
doesn't know how the financial
how the
system
saying
works.
goes? Okay. So they're taking out loans that Burrow
Okay.
is saying, like, who in the fuck? Well, who you? Why you calling me for?
Now you got
so-
it. Now you
so-
got it. Now Burrow's going to be
Okay.
responsible for the loans that the other players
Yes,
are taking
right. So
out.
Burrow's a co-signer. That's what you're
we're
saying.
calling on behalf of Jamar Chase.
He's only
like,
co-signing
why?
if he's co-signing.
Yeah.
Well,
what
he's
they're
saying a lot of
Got
stupid
it.
shit.
Got
So
Jamar
he-
Chase.
Okay, get to the
Jamar
point here.
Chase is trying to take out a loan in your name.
Okay.
So then they interviewed Jamar Chase and
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, who's your favorite quarterback? Well, Joe Burrow, of course. Blah blah blah. The best quarterback out there, yeah, Joe Burrow. So they were like, well, Joe, we.
What
talked
about
to
the
him.
MVP?
But I'm gonna
I'm
gonna defend
I'm still
Jamar
talking.
Chase.
Okay, no.
Oh,
wait.
go ahead, go
Give,
ahead.
give me, give me a moment. You
I
can.
was setting you up for that.
Yeah, you can. I'm setting you up for that one if you want. If you want to defend that crap. So
I will.
So they're like, well, we talked to Joe Burrow, and he said Patrick Mahomes. He goes, Pat who?
Yes, you said that.
And then Cincinnati media, God bless them, they're like, and everybody started doing their little fake ass laugh. Pat who? Okay. So he hadn't ever talked that shit. So Patrick Mahomes, during the ring ceremony,
Yes.
he's
Favorite part.
humble.
Favorite
He's
part.
modest. He's like, fuck that shit. Hey, look, I got a ring right here.
He did a little.
They took a picture. He tweeted it. He said, what, Ken?
Like, I
No,
don't
he
know.
didn't. He didn't say that.
He tweeted it.
I know. Never mind. You missed the whole thing. He said, "That's who."
That's right.
He
Question mark.
Fucking perfect.
Question
hold on.
mark. 2 rings.
He posted a picture of him holding up his 2 rings on his hand.
Was it a
and
question mark?
And
I thought it was
the
just
caption
that's
said,
who.
"That's who." So here's why I'm going to defend Jamar Chase. So,
Good
right.
luck.
So hold on. What do you expect him to
devil's
say?
advocate.
Right. No,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
even devil's advocate. It's keeping it real.
No, yeah,
What do you
you're right.
expect him
You're
to
right.
say? He has arguably easily the second
Second
best
best,
quarterback.
yeah.
So if I'm Jamar Chase and if I play for Joe Burrow, I may not say what he said, but I am backing my guy all day.
Yeah.
I'm saying no matter what, he's going to have Joe Burrow's back.
Sure.
And that was his way of doing it, was by
Sure.
him saying Pat who. I don't think it's that big of a
Nope.
deal.
to the extent to where he says
Dude.
Pat who, but you can
Nope.
just say no.
Yeah,
my guy.
it's a yeah. Look,
Right.
I get where he's coming from. He gets a pass for me.
I don't give him the pass. He got clowned.
That's not a
and
pass.
Props to Patrick Mahomes and
very-
his social media crew, because that was
That
an
was
ideal
fucking awesome.
freaking treat.
He
I
said
was
tweet.
surprised. I was surprised that Patrick Mahomes even replied. To be honest,
Yeah, but it was
What?
it was
That was
classy.
a perfect reply.
It was
I didn't say it was
classy
bad.
and it was
I
just
was just
like
surprised.
spot on. He goes, that's who. And it was just him and his ring.
Yep.
Both his rings. And it's just like, that's who we're talking about.
Jamal, 0. Patrick, 2.
Absolutely.
So he could have said,
True.
"Hey, you know what, Joe Burrow? Hey, that's my dog. We have a great connection. He is a great
Yep.
arm.
Yep.
Nobody wants to
he
hear
said
that
who?
boring ass answer, bro.
He said, "Who? Patrick Mahomes? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's a great player. Yeah, we went up against him a few times, but no. He wanted to say some stupid ass, fucking, just foolish, childish shit.
Man.
Pat who?
I don't know about all
Who?
that.
How many years have that been going? Pat who? Oh,
I mean, I get it. It's
That's
cheesy.
so
It's
fucking
dumb. I mean,
cheesy.
it is cheesy as fuck, right? But I mean, come on. It's not that. It was whatever, man. So, yeah.
On to the next.
A little dead spot there. Hey,
no,
we do pretty good not to have too many dead spots on the show.
Right. Well, lastly,
I'd like to give us props
let
on that, by the way.
well, the reason why it was a dead spot because there's like not much else to cover.
Well,
but go ahead, Ken.
we got UFC. We got some UFC
Yeah, I was
coming
gonna say.
up.
Lastly, we got to jump to the UFC. Sadly, I did not catch the 3rd episode of the TUF, and we're gonna let Tony jump in there. But I did see Nunez and her last fight. But we're gonna let Tony jump in.
Yeah.
So go ahead, bud.
So, hey, let's talk about the UFC real quick, right? So, I don't know if, hopefully you guys have been watching all of the episodes. The first week that Ken and I had talked about the UFC, we talked about how Conor had all the prospects and Michael Chandler has all of the veterans, right? One of the things that I said, and I think Ken agreed with me, is that it looks like the veterans are going to completely wash the prospects. So for those of you that have been tuning in, you know that is true. For those of you that have not, go ahead and check it out. The first 3 episodes have been pretty awesome. The first 2 fights ended in first round knockouts. The 3rd fight actually was a very competitive fight, but Conor's guy just came up a little bit short. And so now Conor's sitting at 0-3, and Michael Chandler's looking great at 3-0. I'll say this real quick. Michael Chandler does have a more genuine, real connection with his team than what Conor McGregor has. And I think that, for one, is definitely a big difference. And I think the other thing, too, and it was an easy thing for me to say that they were going to wash him because I realized that, hey, these were guys that were good enough to make it to the UFC at one time. And usually when you
prior
see
to the show.
Exactly. And usually when you see a UFC show and they have all the prospects come on, how many people make it?
Right. There's always going to be a few,
one guy.
Yeah, there's
Maybe
always going to be a
two
few
guys.
up
Maybe
and
two
comers who
guys.
prove themselves.
Yes.
But yeah.
But do you know how many times a guy has actually came out and actually won the UFC fighter and then they were out of the UFC within 2 to 3 years? It's happened a lot. So just looking at that, man, Conor, dude, you got a tough road ahead of you, brother. You're going to get washed.
One of the things, I don't know when the recordings happened for this, the Ultimate Fighter program versus reality, but I don't know how many people are in tune with what's going on. Apparently, Conor McGregor during Game 4 of the NBA Finals is allegedly forced himself on a female at the NBA Finals in the VIP tent in the bathroom and has sexual assault charges possibly being brought up on him. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the timelines. I don't know if that's weighing on him or anything like that, but that definitely is something that was brought to my attention to where I'm like, okay, Conor, what the hell, dude?
Yeah, I guess we'll see how. I didn't know anything about that until you brought it up. The only other story that I seen is him. He might have knocked out the mascot or for the Heat or whatever. I don't really
that was
care
all
personally.
staged.
Yeah,
That was
so
all a
that was
big
all. Yeah, that was all
PR.
staged. But what happened was he took it a little bit further. He literally did knock out the fucking mascot.
Oh, so he actually
was
went
supposed
off
to-
script. He went off script.
yeah,
No,
he
he
was
caught him accidentally.
right. He was supposed to punch him out cuckoo, whatever, but he really did knock. the
Yeah,
fuck
so
out.
through the big whatever
Oh, that explains the lawsuit that's going to be coming against him.
caught him, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's that one, and then I'm sure there's going to be something from this sexual assault. that
God
happened.
damn it, Conor.
So to put it in context, apparently he met a nice lady at the end of
Sure, she was nice.
The Game 4 of the finals.
More like a hoe.
Was in the NBA.
Wow.
Wow. Tell us what you think. Really.
Oh, I already did, but go ahead.
So took her to the VIP
Straight up
tent.
hoe.
kind of showed her around, showed her a good time, took her to the VIP bathroom where
Sounds like a hoe to me.
Where Connor's security kind of closed the door, and allegedly another gentleman stepped into the room and tried to force themselves upon her.
Yeah, that sounds foul.
Kneed them, kicked them, did whatever she could to escape, and got out of that room.
Really?
And so, yeah, that's
That's fucking wild story, bro.
That's where that story sits right now. Don't know, innocent until proven guilty. But Mr. McGregor is married. I don't know where his wife was at the time, so this is all speculation. But that's where the story is, and it's grabbed some headlines and got some feet
Conor
underneath
McGregor.
it. I'm telling you, ahead of this big fight that he's about to have too. So.
Connor, so I hope that's not true, Connor. Man, look, I know you're kind of an
Tony's
asshole.
talking to him like he's his boy.
I am. Hey, Connor watches the show, dude. Connor watches the show, bro. So look, Connor, man, dude, you're making it tough to be a fan. I'll keep it real, man. This is real. It is hard. I'm going to be a Conor McGregor fan, I think, no matter what, for what he's done for the sport and just the excitement that he brings to it. But honestly, dude, like, you have the potential. I mean, you already had the potential to be one of the great ones. You're one of the great ones.
He is one of the great ones.
But you keep doing this dumb shit. If this turns out to be true,
yeah.
Like, come the fuck on, dude.
Hey.
Everybody should have a person, right? And that's the biggest problem is
Keeps you grounded.
they have so many yes men around them, right? And it's like, even if they don't have a yes man around
Tony,
them,
you're
they probably get fucking fired. If somebody tells them how it is, they probably get fucking fired. So I don't know what to say. We'll see what the fuck happens. I'll say this, man. I don't know why, but I still want to see Conor McGregor win. But I know Michael Chandler's the better fucking dude.
So you see, you'll still be a fan of Conor McGregor,
Man,
no matter what.
I'm a fan of I'm just a fan of the excitement and a fan of what he brings to it. But I'm kind of torn, dude. To be honest, I'm a little bit torn because I really like Michael Chandler too, man. But I don't want to see Conor McGregor lose. I don't know why. But
He's just exciting. His persona and everything that he brings, it has that WWE persona that brings it to the reality. You know what I mean? And it's just awesome.
I think that's what it is.
I'm
It
more
makes
of
it
a-
exciting for me.
Yeah,
but
it does.
I'm more of a person where doesn't matter what kind of status you have, whatever. But if you do these things and it comes out to be proven, then you're nothing. I'm no longer a fan.
Okay.
That's just
So okay, just
I hear you.
a random question. I was a big Bill Cosby fan back in the day.
absolutely.
So does he
Fucking hilarious.
does he rub you the wrong ways to this day?
Yep.
I don't look at it. No, I'll honestly say this
Because I just have so many good memories about Bill Cosby.
I look at him
Good for
completely.
you.
I look at him completely like
you?
that's a great. Yeah, I do actually.
This is just a comparison.
I look
I'm
at
not.
him completely differently now. I do.
Do you? Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
So I just have so many fond memories of watching, the Cosby Show and all his stand up and stuff like
Now
that.
I'm all
that is
for
just-
justice. Yeah.
well, of course you are.
You got to go through the courts. Whatever. And if it's not proven, like, hey, man,
But
good
God,
for
it's
you.
hard to have just a
Somebody like him.
It
yeah.
is.
But
Yeah.
it's been going on for
just like I
for
was,
that dude.
just like I said earlier, like Walter Payton, like he was an icon, and then to hear all this stuff.
Let's leave
that
Walter
came
Payton
out-
alone because I don't think
yeah.
anyone
Or
knows that.
Sweet Pea.
Oh yeah,
We love you, Sweet Pea.
Sweetness,
Never mind,
sweetness.
buddy.
Not
What-
sweet
what-
pea,
what-
sweetness.
I thought it was. Oh yeah.
Oh,
you're right.
sweetness.
Called his Sweet Pea.
He called him
I don't
Sweet
even
Pea.
know.
That's a
Shit.
that's a
Beatles
baby
song.
from that's
Is
a
that a
baby
Beatles
from Popeye.
So I didn't know this. So apparently, Rudy, the movie.
Oh yeah,
Love
Rudy
that
Rudiger.
Yeah.
Fucking movie. Oh, I watched that during the fall time. 'cause
Oh,
I'm
don't ruin the movie for
man,
me."
I will ruin it for you. Apparently, that dude was an asshole.
Oh, the real Rudy?
The real Rudy, yeah, man.
So like
Really?
recently
That's
or
what
like
I
back in the
heard.
day?
That's what I heard on one of our local sports stations. So,
Really?
I was like, what? Oh, man. I
Oh,
didn't
wait a
know
minute.
that.
So is that he let his
Fame get to him.
fame? Yes.
Yeah.
No, apparently he was a dick
Was
back
it
then.
after? Oh, so that's what I was wondering. It was so this was before, not after the movie.
Yeah, that was before.
Oh, okay. Well,
Still a great
Rudy,
Great
movie.
fucking
they
movie.
made you look great in the movie, buddy.
That
Inspired
Hobbit,
me.
That Hobbit made it through all that. Good for him.
Hey, so we was talking about the UFC. I think we kind of tapped out on the Ultimate Fighter, right?
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Nice.
So
nice.
let's jump into real quick. So last week, I got to say, I was a little sad to hear this, man. I didn't realize until I heard it. Amanda Nunes fought Aldana last Friday.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not going to say anything. We're going to hit a little soundbite for you guys and let you guys hear it. So here is the announcer after her last fight in the UFC.
For him, the right thing.
That is not the right one.
Whoa, she has a deep voice.
I want to thank everybody.
She kind of sounded like Tim. She kind of sounded like Tim Grunhard there.
I told you I wasn't a man. You had it right.
Oh, very cool.
We go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score the contest 50-44, 50-44, and 50-43 for the winner by unanimous decision. And
Still.
the undisputed UFC bantamweight champion of the world, Amanda the Lioness Nunes.
Yes. So you guys heard it there. Amanda Nunes, her fight last Friday, dominated every single round of that fight. And so we're just going to jump to another clip. So this is what she had to say shortly after that announcement.
Be your final fight inside the UFC octagon.
My mommy be asking me so much to do this for so long. She cannot take anymore, you know. So my family as well, Nina, is being around for so much with me.
Her wife.
My whole career. So she's pregnant now. And then we in this road for so long. So I decided right now, I'm still young to enjoy every day that I make, you know. I gotta travel a little bit with my family.
So we can stop it there. It's kind of hard to understand. I don't know if that was the best sound bite, right? They didn't have the best recording for it. But what she said there, if you guys caught it, is that, she's retiring because she wants to spend time and travel with her family. What you guys weren't able to see, and I wasn't able to really help bring it across in this broadcast, but what was really special for anyone that did not watch that fight, if you are a Amanda Nunes fight, I definitely urge you to go and watch the fight. Watch her the post-fight interview, right? You can't see this on here, but it was so cool, right? So they brought out both their belts because for those of you that don't know, she is a double champ, right? She defended both of those titles. So she is the first person to ever retire from the UFC as a double champ. Actually, Cejudo may have done that. I'll have to do some research on that, right? So she retired as a dual champion. But Amanda, I thought this was so cool, man. So she asked for the. She kept on asking, "Hey, where's the guy with the scissors?" She wanted to get her gloves cut off, and here's why. So as soon as she got her gloves cut off, she grabbed both of her belts. Right? She put them down, but both in the octagon
middle, yeah.
And then she put her gloves right in the center, and so she got down on them, and you could see it, man. It was like her saying goodbye to the UFC. So even though that they had all these cameras, all these people watching her, if you watch it, you can see her having a very personal moment, but she was having a moment with her gloves, and she was having the moment with both of her belts.
Yeah.
I don't know what she was saying in her own language, but my God, dude, it was fire.
Yeah. So
Go
that's
back and watch it, man.
So that's like symbolic of like wrestling in general. So if you ever watch a not professional wrestler, but like, you know,
oh, they're professional, bro. That shit's real.
No. I'm talking like wrestling, not like WWE or WCW. I'm talking like Olympic caliber wrestling.
I follow.
Those guys take their, and when they know it's their last match, they take their shoes, they take them off, they put them in the middle of the mat, and pretty much the same thing. It's just like, hey, I'm done. This is my goodbye. And yeah, it's a big moment when it comes to wrestling, and it's just as big as what you're talking about with Amanda Nunes taking her gloves off, belts by her side. Like, that was awesome.
Dude.
Like, I totally agree with that.
Did you see it?
I did watch that, and that was like,
Dopest outro I've ever seen.
No, yeah,
the best I've ever seen from somebody.
Absolutely,
leaving a career.
and that's what I'm
Best.
saying. Like,
And I didn't even know what she was saying. Dude. It was the energy and the passion.
Yeah, wrestlers don't get that coverage, but to see it in the UFC is just like awesome. It needs to be put out there, like coverage for all the sports when something like that happens. It's great. I love to see that stuff.
Hey, Walt, so before I give my final thoughts on Nunes, I know you're a huge fan of Nunes. Let's hear what you have to say.
So I have a wrench. So there's a rumor out there with this whole fight. Was there a fighter that she kept on avoiding that could have whipped her ass?
I've never heard that. I don't think that's the case, and I don't think Dana would have allowed that. So,
Yeah,
I don't think she would have avoided it.
I don't think so either. I really don't.
Okay, let's hear it.
I don't remember the name, but apparently, so she picked this fight with this upcoming fighter that she knew she can beat. This last one you just played the clip on, because she knew she could keep the belts. Then now that she kept the belts, she wanted to retire to keeping the belts, but this other fighter kept on trying to call her out to fight. And so instead of just facing her, because she's at the end of her,
I think I know who she's talking about.
Who?
Oh.
I honestly I don't remember.
I think
the
you
name.
might be talking about Julia Pena. And the reason it would be
Yes.
Julia Pena is because Julia Pena is the one that beat her, right?
Yes.
And then she had the rematch. She dominated Julia Pena, okay? And she dominated her. So I'll say this. Message to Julia Pena, if you did happen to try to call her out, let's be honest, she dominated you so, like
I
that
said,
last fight.
I didn't watch the
wasn't even
fight.
close, man.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing. So that fight that she did lose to Juliana Pena, let's put it into context real quick, right? So she had some life-changing events before that, right? If you look at Amanda Nunes, she was always, she had a girlfriend, sure, right? But she didn't have a family necessarily like she does now before that fight that she lost to Julia Pena, by the way, right? So when she had her family, I'm not making excuses for her, but I do think that might change it might have changed her from being the kind of the killer that she was. Who knows, right? But
do you understand the rumor though that she
you're right. I'm going on too much. You're right.
Right. So she picked this fighter because she knew she could beat her.
Oh, she didn't want kind of a possibility to where it was
right.
like
So she wanted to end her career
a
on
draw
top.
or
Okay.
Right. So she could keep her belt. She did her little glove thing, whatever, but she wouldn't accept the fights from Pena.
You know what? Maybe there's something to that, but
I hope she comes back.
Here's
out
my
and-
honest opinion.
and does it.
I feel that Aldana fight was a more dangerous fight for her to take. And here's why. Julia Pena was not finishing or knocking people out at a high clip. She just wasn't, right? When you look at Aldana, she knocked out 3 out of her last 4 fights, she had 3 knockouts. When you look at the women's division, there's not too many women that are knocking other women out. So, with that being said, the fact that Amanda Nunes did not rely on any type of wrestling, she did all striking with this Aldana. To me, Amanda Nunes was not avoiding, because here's the thing, if she was avoiding, right, and worried about having an easier fight, she just would have took Aldana down, which, by the way, if you watch this fight, anytime she took Aldana down, it was so fucking easy. It was so easy that Amanda Nunes would let her up every single time. So people were saying that, hey, Amanda Nunes will probably want to get this on the ground because we don't know if she wants to stand and bang with her.
But that's
and that's
how
exactly what she did.
But that's how she wants to end her legacy against this fighter.
Why not?
Weren't they scheduled to fight,
It
and
wasn't
then
even-
something happened
Wait a
with
minute.
Pena, and she had to back out of the fight?
Thank
Wasn't
you.
even close.
Actually,
I
don't
think
even
that
know
was
if
a
it
thing.
You're right. There was somebody else, actually. Maybe we'll look
I
it up
want
real
to
quick.
think it was Pena that she was supposed to fight. And
I
then-
think Aldana was a step-in.
yeah, it was a fill-in for
replacement.
her.
Let's see.
So I think what we need to do.
and that's where the cop out comes out, is to where Nunez was like, okay, I'm going to retire, and then Pena's like, hold up, what happened to our fucking fight? Even though Pena was like out. I don't really 100% know, but I thought that's what the problem was.
So you're right. So in fact, Amanda Nunes was not avoiding Pena. She was actually slated to fight Pena, and Aldana had to replace Pena. Now, I can't tell you why, but I just pulled it up. But Irene Aldana did replace Julia Pena, who would have been in that fight. So to that point, Amanda Nunes ducks no one.
Yeah, she tried to set the fight. I don't know if there was an injury or something happened during training or something where Pena had to back out. But like I was just kind of like, I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, I thought they were slated to fight. And I kind of Googled it and looked it up, and I was like, sure as shit. Yeah, they were going to fight. And then something happened, and they had to back out, and that's where Chandler stepped in. So, yeah. Not Chandler, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Chandler beat her ass, bro.
Yeah,
Well,
he
fuck
would have.
yeah.
That is not the fight she would have won it in her career on.
Not to say that the male can dominate a female.
If Nunez would have beat Chandler, that would have been the ultimate fucking fighting ever.
Yeah.
All right, I think we have one more thing to cover. T.I., you want to cover it up?
We've all, I've been watching Undisputed with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp
That
for
whole
the last
controversy, yeah.
7 years. I didn't watch every episode, but whenever I did go to look for sports stories on the internet, they were the first people that I would look for, and it was always because I wanted to hear the Patrick Mahomes stories, or I wanted to hear what they had to say about LeBron James, right? So I will say that now that it's over, I'm going to miss it. And before we play it, we have a clip for you guys real quick. I think that, well, we're not going to listen to the entire clip, but I listened to the entirety of the goodbyes between Shannon and between Skip. And I do truly believe that by the end of it, I think that who knows how they got to where they're at now, but something in me thinks that as they were saying their goodbyes, that they might regret just a little bit of where they're at. But anyways, with that being said, we'll let you all be the judge. Waltz, if you want to go ahead and play the kip. Before you do it real quick. The kip, right? Shannon, right before this, you're going to be coming in on Shannon saying his goodbyes basically to Skip Bayless after he said goodbye to everyone else on the staff. I do want to preface this real quick. So as he was saying goodbye to everyone else on the staff, he kept his composure. Now this is his goodbye to Skip.
Good playing, Skip.
I'm here because of you. You've allowed me to share the stage with you. You've allowed me to share the platform. I'm going to cry in the car, but I'm not going to cry now.
I'm going to cry in the car.
The opportunity that you gave me to become what I became, I'm forever indebted to you. I'll never forget what you did for me. You've helped me grow more than you ever know.
Okay, this is not easy for me either. But
one more thing before you go, Skip.
Okay.
One more thing. All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, you know I gave you everything I had.
You did.
I gave you everything I had.
Which is why I want to thank you for all you have given to me. When I first took this job back in June of 2016, we had a whole nother format in mind until it became clear Shannon Sharp is available. And I said, I believe he can do this. And did you ever?
I remember that. I remember those
savaged
times.
us when we first started. Undisputed will never last. FS1 will never last. Did we ever show them? I want to thank you for dedicating yourself to this job. It is a voracious beast of a show, day after day after day. You dedicated yourself to this job just the way you dedicated yourself to professional football as a Hall of Famer. I want to thank you for never taking a sick day. I want to thank you for preparing as hard as you could every single day, every single topic.
Yeah, okay, so we get it, Skip, right? So I didn't know this, but shout out to Shannon Sharp, right? We heard it there, 7 years, right? They get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, by the way. So for him to come into that show for 7 years, never miss one fucking show in 7 years, right? That just speaks to Shannon Sharp's excellence. We've seen it on the football field, right? And for those of you that watch Undisputed, I feel like Shannon did give it everything he's got, man. And I didn't realize how much I was going to miss the show until I heard that goodbye. I didn't cry, but I ain't going to lie.
I don't know. He looks like he's about to cry right now.
I ain't going to lie.
Get a little misty-eyed.
Look. I felt a little bit emotional about that show ending.
No. That's good.
So I think y'all got some opinions. I want to hear your little, well, not little, but your important opinions on the topic.
Skip.
Okay.
That's my
Back to
opinion.
that. I get it. Shannon does owe a lot to Skip Bayless for what he did to help launch his career or whatever like that. But at the same time, a lot of that I think is just pent up, emotions or whatever, like how it all ended, how it's all going. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, I'll say this: much respect, big respect to Shannon Sharp for doing what he did.
It takes a grown ass man to fucking sit there and say, like, "Hey, dude, like, regardless of our differences, like, you did this for me, you did this for me, and I appreciate it." Regardless of what's going on right now, whether you're being a dickhead to me or whatever,
especially with all the hate that Skip Bayless has been getting.
Yeah.
The fact that Shannon Sharp said, "You know what? People may not like what I say, but I'm going to fucking say how I feel, and I want to make sure the world knows that I owe a debt of gratitude to that man on the other side of the table." So, I'm not the biggest Skip Bayless fan, but I was a huge fan of their dynamic together. At times, sure, man, I got tired of hearing the same stories over and over, but I'm going to miss them. And I want to say this real quick. There's gonna Waltz is bored because he don't watch other podcasts, so he's a little.
He
lost
don't watch
right
anything
now.
that
he doesn't. That doesn't. If it's not involving him on camera, he's not going to watch it probably.
Okay. I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna end this thing with Ken's 2 yen real quick. A couple of the things that were
and you thought we were about to be done.
It's not over.
It's never over.
The whole point of Kids 2 Yen.
Hey,
you're the host.
Hey.
So you don't have to do that.
The host. Play me in, dude. Play me in.
All right, play him in one.
Play me in.
Okay, hey, 2 yens. It's 2 minutes tops.
All right.
I'm fucking hungry.
Where's it at? All right, there we are. Okay, so a couple things that I just wanted to touch up real quick that we missed. As far as it goes with the NFL, a couple things that we didn't get to. Deion Sanders apparently has to have his left foot completely amputated.
No one cares.
See you later, left foot. Deion Sanders,
one of the best cornerbacks in the league. He had a couple toes removed earlier. I think it was.
How does that benefit you, bro?
2019. I'm just touching on it. It's news, bro. It's news to me. Okay, you want to make fun of this? Ray Lewis's son died.
Oh,
how are you going to make fun of that? Exactly.
Wow.
Ray Lewis the third. It's undisclosed at this moment. Undisclosed at this moment.
So
it just happened, Waltz.
Sorry, Ray.
Okay, well, it's newsworthy.
Okay, we're editing that out because we sound like
we're going to leave that
assholes.
in. We're going to leave that in to show him just how much of an asshole this guy is.
That sounded terrible.
Deion Sanders loses a foot. Ray Lewis loses his son, and apparently Casey Waltz doesn't care. Okay, we're gonna move on.
Moving on.
That was your 2 yen?
No.
I like that part of the 2
I have a couple other things.
Oh.
So
Okay, you got a minute.
The Royals, they were never. We got it narrowed down to 2 locations for the possible new stadium. It's in the East Village off 12th and Cherry, and we have it in North Kansas City in Clay County off of 18th and Fayetteville.
I did hear that.
Okay, and then just a fun little tidbit: Michael Jordan, his shoes that he wore during the flu game just went up for auction. Apparently, a ball boy got his shoes, sold for $1.38 million at auction.
Damn.
Another thing.
But that wasn't me, so I don't care.
Okay. What? Anything else about Michael Jordan?
Yeah,
real quick?
so another thing that we missed on Michael Jordan is he just sold his majority share in the Charlotte
Hornets.
Yeah. He turned $275 million investment 13 years ago into a $3 billion profit. And
$3 billion.
I don't get that. He was horrible.
He was
a horrible owner.
He was a terrible owner, terrible front office manager.
Okay, you can look at it as he's a horrible owner or he is a great businessman. You look at it how you want to. I will look at it how I want to.
Which, by the way, T.I., I did watch the movie. That was a
dude.
The cast,
and it was
the best I had ever seen in one movie.
Okay, you're interfering on.
Everybody was everywhere.
You are intervening on Ken's 2 yen. And lastly, I'd like to touch up on Vacation Village, which is a new sprawling resort that's taking over the old Schlitterbahn Resort over there by the Legends area. It is a $840 million project. It has an athletic training facility at $60 million, a Margaritaville hotel that has like 230 plus rooms at $140 million.
When's it going to be ready?
Undisclosed yet. Undisclosed.
I'm going to have to correct you, Ken, because
Go
that
ahead.
whole location is going to be built for a quilt museum. So you are wrong.
That is incorrect. That is part of what is going in there.
Okay.
There is also a museum going in there.
Quilt museum.
There is
gonna
also
be
an
nice.
Atlas 9. There's also
1954.
Atlas 9, which is also a museum and a movie theater that's valued at over $30 million, and an entertainment area that's like $53 million that has live music concerts and sporting events. So it's going to be the shit.
It's 9:57.
Yeah,
No, that's a good shit. No. In all seriousness, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. In all seriousness, I'm glad you brought that up real quick. I knew nothing about it. Yeah, real quick. I knew nothing about it. So hey, there you go. If you knew nothing about it, now you know.
Little tidbits.
Yes. I think we're about to wrap this shit up, aren't we?
Yeah, man. Hey, so 2 hours in, that was the Astra Boys. Man, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did not. These guys did. Joe Hooters, I will see you on the next episode.
Enjoy your time.
I enjoyed Ken and I, Casey Waltz, not so much.
Yes. I will see you guys on the next episode at Smoketown Motherfucking Barbecue. Suckers!
Peace.
Hey!